Hi there, my lovely friends. A couple of months ago, I talked to you about writing short, meet cute stories as a way to have fun. But I realized for a lot of you, that's not the sort of thing you might be into. You might not be writing anything that's anywhere close to a romance or anything else like that. So I'm remaking that video sort of to illustrate the underlying theme of that previous video, which was about having fun when life feels heavy. There are times in life when things aren't easy, whether it's health worries, family stress, world events, or just that general sense that everything's just feeling a bit too much. Those are the times when sitting down to write can either feel impossible or oddly necessary. And I've found, both in my own writing and in talking to other authors, that these difficult times can actually be the perfect moment to lean into something joyful, something quirky, something a little bit ridiculous if you want it to be. We're not talking about serious literary masterpieces, but then I don't think I ever talk about those on this channel. Not all books are out to change the world, but sometimes stories can make you smile. And that's what we're talking about today. Now, just a quick thing, I do know that some people might feel a bit guilty about doing something like that. You know, this is serious times. And so maybe what we should be writing should be serious too. And that somehow writing light-hearted or whimsical fiction rather, is, I don't know, it's a way of avoiding reality. But I don't see it that way at all. In fact, I think the actual opposite. Writing something that brings you joy when life is difficult isn't avoidance, it's balance. It's giving your mind somewhere safe to go. It's saying, yeah, I know that times are hard right now, but for the next hour, I'm going to spend time somewhere that makes me feel good. And I'm telling you now, there is absolutely nothing wrong with that. I've often mentioned that when I've struggled to write, I go into my garage and I splash paint onto the paper. This new thing I've been doing lately is I squeeze paint blobs on a page straight from the tube. And then, so I have a whole page full of dots. And then I grab a piece of baking paper that'll fit over the whole thing. And I put it over the top of my blobs. And then I get my hands and I just go. And then, if you want to get extra effect, you grab the baking paper on each side of it and lift it up towards the middle, off of the page, obviously, and hopefully have a rubbish bin handy right here. And you get this sort of sweep effect in the dots in the paint. Honestly, I get the most incredibly bright and colorful backgrounds that way. Is it silly? Definitely. Is it helping anybody? Yes. It helps me. And more recently, I've come to find that I can treat my writing in the same way. Again, I don't have to give you any ideas on what to worry about. There are 100 things, both inside and outside the home, bills, med health appointments, and don't even get me started on social media and the news cycle. But what if, and just hear me out, but what if instead of worrying about something you can't do anything about, you opened up a fresh new document on your device of choice and started writing about, I don't know, a grumpy dragon who hoards teacups instead of gold, or a vampire who faints at the sight of blood, or a romance between two people who meet because their dogs keep stealing each other's toys. And okay, I said I wasn't going to talk about romance, but if you're into sci-fi, could it be two robots that keep stealing each other's cords or something? Is it silly? Definitely. Does that matter? Not at all. Because when you are writing something silly, and I know this from personal experience, something inside of you shifts. Your shoulders relax. Your breathing slows down. And every now and again, you actually laugh about something that you've written as you're picturing the scene. And for a little while, your brain isn't stuck in that loop of worry because you're playing. And I think we forget, especially as adults, how important that kind of play is. When we were younger, for some of us, it's more years ago than others, but imagination came easily. We didn't question it. We didn't worry about whether what we were creating was marketable or good enough. We were just having fun. But somewhere along the way, a lot of us, me included there for a while, we lost that. And we started thinking that everything we did had to have a purpose. It had to have a goal. It had to have a result. And yes, if you're writing professionally like I am, well, in that you make your money from your writing, then there are practical aspects to consider. But not every single thing you write has to be in whatever niche you're known for. Sometimes the most valuable stories you write are the ones that are just for you. Now, I do know from my own example that the stories I wrote just for me over Christmas last year, well, one of them, excuse me, one of them is my new release this month, Something Worth Keeping, which was my silly story about an eldritch guardian meeting up with a human over a dead body. Well, actually, that doesn't sound like fun when I describe it like that, but it was actually a really cute and funny story. I laughed as I wrote parts of it, and I chuckled as I imagined Julian's deadpan delivery, and Cillian's too. The thing is I had fun, because when I wrote that, I was just trying something different. I thought I would, if I was ever going to publish it, I would put it out under a different name. And if you've been following me for a while, then you know that didn't happen, because my daughter told me that the book was a great fit for my brand. So it's gone live on Amazon this week, actually. Well, probably not the week you're watching this, but the week I'm recording it, it definitely did. But anyway, sorry about the sidetrack. But here's the interesting part. Those just for you stories, they often turn into something more anyway. Because when you're writing from a place of joy, yes, I admit that does sound a little woo-woo, but just go with me here. Your creativity opens up. You take more risks. You follow strange little ideas to see where they'll go. You create characters who are a bit odd, a bit unexpected, and often those characters are far more memorable because of it. That quirky idea that you thought was just a bit of fun could very well be the story that your readers connect with the most. Joy is contagious, my friends, and readers can feel it come across the page. Now, I'm not saying this is always easy. If you're going through something genuinely difficult, sometimes even opening a blank document can feel like it's too much. And that's okay. Believe it or not, I do understand. I have a multitude of health concerns and live with complex PTSD and have done for over 20 years. So I'm not saying you need to force yourself to be cheerful, happy, happy, joy, joy, or pretend everything is fine. Sometimes that takes more energy than anything else. But what I would like you to consider is that maybe you give yourself permission to just write something different, something lighter. Give yourself permission to step away from the weight of everything you've been carrying for just 5 minutes or maybe half an hour, and create something that exists purely to make you and maybe your readers eventually, but make you feel good. And if you need a business or career perspective on this, then consider the idea that in hard times, people reach for stories that give them comfort or that make them laugh. A huge percentage of readers read specifically to escape the real world. And if you enjoy creating those sorts of stories, then you're creating the thing they're looking for. I've talked many times about how writing is supposed to be fun. If nothing else, writing things that are fun to you is a way of increasing your productivity. Because when you're allowing yourself to write what makes you happy, you're far more likely to keep going. And we've talked about this in other videos. If every time you sit down to write, it feels like hard work and like you're quite literally pushing you know what uphill, you're going to avoid it. None of us needs any more shit right now. But if writing feels like a treat, something you get to do rather than something you have to do, that's when it becomes part of your life in a really sustainable way. So maybe, just as an experiment, the next time you sit down to write, you'll ask yourself one simple question: what would be fun? Not what would sell, not what fits the market, not what you think you should be writing. And yes, I'm going to start that God's book later this week, I promise. Just what would be fun. And then follow that idea, even if it's a little strange. Actually, especially if it's a little strange, okay? And when you put that book out, let me know by dropping the link in my comments, okay? Because I adore a little strange, I really do. You might end up with something completely unexpected, a character you fall in love with, a world you want to spend more time in, or even just a short, sweet story that made you smile when you were writing it. And honestly, that's enough. That really is just enough. At the end of the day, writing isn't just about producing books. When you're writing your stories, you're creating a connection with your readers, yes, but also a connection with yourself. Quite literally, writing is about creating something out of nothing. And so it's about finding those moments of joy, even when life isn't that particularly joyful. And sometimes those small moments matter more than anything else. So what do you think? Did you want to give it a try? Try and form your own type of escapism and write something really silly, totally fun, and above all, something that will make you laugh? Or am I totally off base? You let me know in the comments down below. I put long form content out on Mondays and Thursdays. If you ever want to hear me reading my work, my own work, I do half-hour videos where I'm doing exactly that on Saturdays. I'm currently reading Scar Bonds, The Scars That Bind Us. I absolutely love to read your comments and answer every single one. So agree with me, disagree with me, have a question, or just want to say hi. I truly appreciate it. And I know that YouTube appreciates the interaction. More than anything else, I like to feel that we're building a small community here. So yeah, let me know you've been here. Please hit the like button if you thought this was useful. And if you're keen on seeing more like this, then please hit the subscribe button as well. And apparently I meant to remind you to tick the bell for all notifications. In the meantime, keep writing, my friends. And remember, above all, I'm sorry. I'm looking for my delete button at the same time as I'm trying to finish this off professionally. But in the meantime, please keep writing, my friends, and have an awesome week. Bye.